Hello, thanks so much for having us.
Hello. Yes, thank you so much. I'm going to sort that's better. That's a good length. First of all, I've printed off like 20 copies. So if anyone wants to read my poems while I'm speaking, you can put them on the table, you can grab them. Otherwise, you can grab them for free after. I've got too many copies. I bought my dad a birthday print the other day, and I printed 99 copies of one A5 print for his birthday. So I obviously need to learn how to use a printer. I'm going to explain the basic of how this works. It's very odd. So back at the end of 2020, I was teaching a lesson when I had a brain hemorrhage. I was teaching a GCSE Year 8 English lesson. I had a brain hemorrhage. Very, very painful experience. I slipped into a coma. They rushed me to the Cardiff ICU. I was in the ICU for about 2 weeks. I was in coma for about a week of it. And they told my wife, who's here tonight, so she doesn't want to. There's just a couple of your ears if you don't want to hear the story again. I know you don't like it. And they told her I'm going to die. He's going to die. He's not going to make it for the night. He's not going to live. We had an 8-month-old and a 3-year-old. They're now nearly 5 and 2. And yeah, I spent 6.5 weeks in hospital. Couldn't speak properly at first. Couldn't stand up. Like, as you can see, I've done pretty well recovering from a brain hemorrhage from a stroke. But I lost 25% of my vision, and I've suffered with insomnia my whole life, and it brought the insomnia back badly, because one of the main things that you get after you survive a brain hemorrhage is insomnia. So they gave me sleeping tablets. When I take the sleeping tablets, they start to make me feel drowsy. Just as I'm in that really drowsy, weird, phantasmagorical state, that's when I start writing poetry. When it's all really weird, I'm falling asleep. And I write it on my phone, and I fall asleep, and I wake up, and I'm still writing. And even like when I'm asleep, there's still some tapping going on. And I wrote, these must be subconscious thoughts. They must be in there somewhere that I'm bringing out in sleep. It's kind of like a surrealist automatic writing thing going on. And then I edit it into a poem when I'm awake. I make sure the key lines and the key things that I never would have considered writing awake stay in it. So when we collaborated, we thought the good idea would be, because Harry wakes up in the night and writes things down as well, if we send each other the things we wrote while we were asleep, and then we write a poem to each other's sleep drafts, if you will. So I'll tell you a rough idea of what a sleep draft was. Poor Harry, because mine's just typos and weird subconscious nonsense. And then I'll read the poem. So the first one, Harry had written, "Are trees the most perfect example of the history of light?" So we're close to that. So this is what I responded to after Harry wrote that while still half asleep. It's called "To be unknowing as to know to be a ghost." And I responded to it while I was asleep. "Sickly sweet, I should have said that I am sometimes a song of light for a forest of cedars. I should have asked you to come at me with a gun in my mouth, in a bed a mile from all I've known. I'm sorry I failed to mention I cannot sleep when I breathe you out. Whenever you touch my cheek, I die." And the next one, Harry had written, "The moon is being arrested for non-violent protest." Well, he was half asleep in that state, so this is my response to that. "Sometimes it's better to feel nothing but the love for some people that I can't be more than. A heart that isn't as big as it should be. I've made love to the moon and the sky. All it did was put distance between my body and the world. One person can be both an 8-ball of sugary sweets and the dust that fills a room. I'm glad to find you in myself. I ain't got the time to care about no double negatives or not. When they complain about being fined to go on holiday, I remind them that there are kids living in craters on the moon."
So, thanks so much. Aaron sent me a bunch of really sort of strange, sort of fragmented texts, sort of the power 6, the number 6 to the power 6, things like that would be kind of in amongst other strange kind of scrambled notes. And one of the first lines of his poems was "The Dictionary of Broken Wings and Pineal Architecture," which is sort of, I built myself a fabulous cave in my office of just paper. And it's a bit like that, sort of trying to unpack everything and find out which thing I'm looking at. So I came up with this, and because Aaron can't really sleep very well, this is a night meditation I wrote for him, or to be more specific, night meditation for sleepless birds of the British Isles. I'm going to edit it a little bit because it is a whole meditation, and as much as we enjoy chirping, we might all fall asleep. I'm going to ask you to blink with every number I count, 10. While I'm counting down, 9. If you prefer, 8. You can use the nictating membrane like an Arctic warbler, 7. That's the one like 6, a shower curtain across the film of your eye, 5. And that's 5, 4. Relaxation allows the creative brain to activate, 3. And manifest our desires, 1. Your eyes are ready, so you can gently 0. Close your eyes. As you do, allow a gentle wave of relaxation to sweep over you completely. Having a good flow going between resting and activating means we can truly achieve any goal we set for ourselves. Imagine a place without power lines. There are no airborne predators or parasites, no reflected sky on the hypotenuse of the windows, no communications towers, no bird flu, no commercial jet engines to fascinate and obliterate us, nor wind turbines to swamp us mid-flight in the beak. Only the high trees and the honey-coloured land undulating in every direction, fragrant canopies, branches leading down, with small balls of fat, perhaps pastry, perhaps leaf litters, maybe some seeds. You and your fellow sandpipers will be absolutely fine, more than fine. You perch on a chestnut, a network of branches continuing down and down and down. You drink a little bead of water from the crease in a chestnut leaf. It is so pure. And then there's a certain amount of hopping around while I'm sort of waiting for the bird to relax and get its crepe state. So I just zip through that. Imagine that's already happened. Now look up into the globed hemisphere of the branches, the 2 lensed orbs of leaves of the ultraviolet world you can see around you. Feel a few new short semitones you look forward to singing as they enter your mind as a favourite tune. Tilt your head and hear the ocean. Just stretch out a little and flutter towards the sound of the ocean. As you hear my voice, gradually the human words are being replaced with the names of other birds, of other territories, as you Franklin's gull and sulphur-bellied warbler on your fieldfares, perhaps a light-bimaculated lark as well. You smell the smell of the Scottish crossbills, the great auk air, as you yellow wagtail toward the olive-backed pipit, you meadow pipits and sand martins, and you Fregunus ducks, saturated with Scottish crossbills, and glaucous gull to the shore, waxwings coming upland sandpiper and double-crested cormorant and upland sandpiper and double-crested cormorant. And as the waxwings coot and gold-crest, you spotted flycatcher, thick-billed warblers and the sand martins. A little auk of a dunlin, its completely pectoral sandpiper for writing on the sand martins, so you dotterel down your night heron in the sand martins, noticing the song thrush it makes in those sand martins. Golden eye. Golden eye, golden eye. Thanks very much.
Thank you.